I have a legit question. I am busy working, doing license renewal. I look rough. I haven't conditioned my hair for 24 hours. I shaved or trimmed my beard with a hatchet. And anyways, it's my birthday month and we're in the age of Aquarius. But I have a serious, legit question to ask the community. And the trolls, you can get fucked. Like, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. But like the real, like, Americans or people from other countries that are like actually in good faith, I am legit concerned that nobody was tracking the last time they had the Senate hearings regarding TikTok. That's when I got banned from TikTok for standing up against bigots who are purporting Putin anti-trans propaganda. I was raised to be homophobic, regardless of what anybody from my background says. I know that to be truth. I've deconstructed that. I'm in the process of deconstructing that. I've learned a lot in a lot of political lives the past several years, and then I've gone and verified that information with primary and secondary sources. And yes, I like using tertiary sources like Google, and I just like saying that word. It's one of my favorite words. And Glory is my favorite movie. So now that we got that out of the way, the question that I want to ask is, last time, not this most recent time they had the Senate hearings when they grilled TikTok, but like the first time when MAGA held a gun to everybody's head and convinced everybody that TikTok is worse than all these other social media platforms that pirate all of your data and sell all your shit to fucking the highest bidder or the lowest bidder. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. It's just a cesspool of corporational greed, and anonymity and billionaire grifters using poor people to hate other poor people, But my question that I'm wanting to ask is not the last time the Senate hearings happened, but the time before that, when I got banned from TikTok for standing up for, a marginalized community. And I'm like a straight, cishet, white, Christian, middle class person, or used to be middle class. Do y'all not remember that, like, they basically just picked on TikTok? Like, granted, I got banned. I'm not like standing up for them, but like, I know what happened. Oracle was positioned by the United States Senate and House, apparently, and the rest of the, multinational corporation community that's like trying to take over our country. They convinced everybody that TikTok is such a threat that they put they made their data go through Oracle servers in California, and the headquarters was in California at the time. But then when you notice, when I got banned and they had those hearings, they moved the HQ for Oracle from California to Texas. And I noticed during that time, because I was talking shit to the troll industrial complex and the Russians and the fucking, all the idiot libertarians in America who's falling for all that bullshit. I was talking mad shit to them directly for weeks during that time. So I was watching closely. I was getting warnings, I was getting strikes from trolls that were, reporting my shit for no reason, just because they knew that I was, speaking up, speaking truth. They didn't want people to hear me, so they fucking basically mute small accounts before they can gain traction. I was gaining traction on TikTok. I only had like 1,800 followers, 1,900 followers, but those motherfuckers were after my shit. So I didn't even have a big platform, and they were fucking all over that shit all the time. And of course, these guys have multiple accounts, so you can't tell if it's like 1 or 12 attacking you at once, but it's a lot. And I'm sure it's a huge amount for the big creators. I can't imagine, but I think I was able to notice things because my account was so small. I was able to follow things closer than if somebody's working on a big account that has so much activity on it. You kind of can't see why or how things happened. So, sorry to take so long to get here, but I think MAGA Republicans at the request of these multinational corporations that are trying to take over the country, and Putin, you know, people who support Putin, they convinced Congress as a whole, all the boomers, that TikTok was the biggest threat, leaving Facebook, leaving Instagram, leaving Twitter X, all those, you know, not even acknowledging any of those threats. You know, Cambridge Analytica, 2016, Wagner Group, Internet Research Agency. You should see all the disinformation on X now. I'm no longer on that shit platform, but I mean, Elon Musk is a fucking terrorist. You know, he's a clear and present danger. Absolutely. Trump, a Musk, they are clear and present dangers to our democracy. So I'm just a health insurance agent, and I can barely maintain a 1 KD war zone. But I spend my days taking care of rescue dogs and making sure people are covered for health insurance. I'm self-employed. I don't work directly, you know, for a company. So I get to make my own schedule. I work from home. I used to wear suits and go to work and stuff, like in an office. I got fired for insubordination from corporate America, and then later, you know, once I built a very successful health insurance agency, people got all greedy and like started lying, and I just backed away from all that shit. So yeah, I'm just kind of digging in on all the politics, because we're coming up to the biggest election in US history, most significant. You know, we're basically going with fascism, or we're going with more of the same center leftist type stuff. So obviously I'm going to pick the center leftist bullshit, you know, stand up for disenfranchised folks. I mean, it's no fucking brainer. There's no fucking debating civil rights, in my opinion. So obviously MAGA Republicans are in bad faith. They are doing the bidding of Putin. Putin is trying to take over a sovereign country in Ukraine. He has the Wagner Group influencing Africa, Israel, and Palestine. Obviously, free Palestine. You know, fuck Israel with the whole fucking, you know, weird complex of like, eradicate, you know, the Palestinians or whatever the fuck's going on. It's crazy. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that it's been going on for 3,000 years, and it's nothing like the Ukraine war with Russia. It's fucking nothing like it. So if you guys don't understand history and nuance, then shut the fuck up. Don't fucking comment. Don't fucking go live. Listen and fucking take notes. And then when you get your shit straight and you're not fucking thinking and figuring everything out while you're fucking talking, then fucking make a goddamn video, then go live. But please do not come into lives. Please do not comment without fucking thinking about anything that you're fucking talking about first. We can tell because we've been there before. We were where you were. We know how to identify that. I know what a transphobe is. I know what a homophobe is. I know what the difference is between sex and gender finally is. You know, I know what a non-binary person is. I know what an intersex person is now. I know what cisgendered is. And just because it took me a while to figure that out doesn't mean it didn't exist before I figured it out. So for all you fucking gamers that follow these big time gamers who are fucking so fucking caught up in themselves they can't even fucking critically think for a goddamn fucking afternoon, maybe you should fucking rethink who you're giving your fucking subs and your donations and all that shit to. Because those motherfuckers are goddamn failing y'all. They are basically giving cover to the billionaire grifters who are trying to fucking uneducate y'all. Oh no, you didn't even get educated. They're stopping you from getting an education. They have the money. We have the resources. It's abundant. The allocation of scarce resources is kind of a myth. Basically, that's what they want you to think that politics is. Basically, they just want to convince you that there's scarce resources so people can grip the shit out of you and take it all for themselves. It's insane. I thought that we were actually in a situation where we had certain assets as this country, like secured and protected. I fell asleep at the wheel. I apologize. I will spend the rest of my life making sure that people like Donald Trump and his sons don't like run this country. People like Matt Gaetz, he's gonna get flushed the fuck out of this goddamn system. And it is a goddamn system, and there are flaws. But I don't want to blow everything up. We can improve on it. But Matt Gaetz has to go. Josh and Aaron Hawley have to go. All the Trump family needs to be barred from like all business in the United States. He needs to get thrown in prison. RICO, read the law, read the indictments. I'm not fucking crazy. This is where it's pointing. Like, if you actually follow what's going on right now, which I know no Republicans actually read the indictments, it's so damning, it's fucking wild. And with yesterday's decision on the immunity, Trumpism is dead. Now, once the initial, Trumpism, the vehicle that tried to bring us fascism is the Trump train has been derailed, we need to look at the people who enabled Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump and Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan. We need to look at the people who are strategically putting these types of right-wing zealots and ideologues into office. And that group is called the Alliance Defending Freedom. They are kind of commingled with the Heritage Foundation. They're all members of the Federalist Society, which it seems there's a couple okay Americans left in the Federalist Society maybe, but there was a sect that broke off from the Federalist Society that turned into this MAGA consortium that has basically married themselves to multinational corporations and the military-industrial complex, and they've decided that they want to destroy the Constitution because they want to set up a country that they can maintain vice grip on. And they've gotten a vice grip since the 90s and, back in the crash in 2008. These multinational corporations and these, billionaire bigots, they've had it all this whole time. We're all just scrambling, scratching around, for scraps, but they've had it this whole time, and now it's being threatened to take away, and they're risking it all to keep it. They're basically contracting people like Donald Trump to try to burn it all down so they can retain what's left. So, I don't think we should depend on government employees making $60,000, $70,000 a year to stand, and defend our country from these billionaire bigot grifters. Like, we, the people, can stand up to them, and they're terrified of us. Absolutely terrified of us. So with no money in our pockets, if we all stand together and do what's right, we could fucking just sit them the fuck down. Just sit them the fuck down. And how good would that feel to finally know that we're using power of the, superpower on this planet to do what's right. And we all know they fucked up in Vietnam and Iraq too, and Afghanistan. We know the war hawks lied to us and pushed our service people into those conflicts, and millions of people died. So that was a right-wing government that did that. We are trying to keep another right-wing government from getting control again and creating huge deficit and causing all these wars and conflicts. The right-wingers are openly saying that they want the economy to fail. They want you and I to feel pain. That should say enough. They're documented liars. They're on video. They're treasonous. They're seditionists. There's insurrectionists. They're bad people. So enough. Let's get back to living life. I would like to have some semblance of enjoyable life. I'd like to have some joy back in my life. And Trumpism has robbed me of my joy the past 7-8 years. They've robbed me from a lot more, but the one that I feel the most grief and sadness over is the loss of what little joy I'd have here and there every once in a while. I haven't had that. I would like that back. I understand that you can't be running around happy, smiling idiot your whole fucking life. But I would like to have some respite of truth, justice, happiness here and there to keep going. And I feel like we got that yesterday when the DC court, appeals court ruled that Trump does not have immunity for what he did as a civilian, and then also, most importantly, as a president. Like, he was not executing his duties as a president to try to overturn that election and instill those fake electors. You know, he has fucked himself over so many times on video, in recordings, that like there's no defense for it. So I feel like justice is gonna be served. I was wondering if it was gonna be. Sounds like the next step, it's gonna go to SCOTUS, or it's really this intricate legal battle that's hard for somebody who doesn't do this for a living to follow at this point. So I'm relying on like Midas Touch, and I go into Tommy's live on Twitch, and there's a lot of people in there that that know a lot too. So not just the content creators, but the people in the comment section, you could draw a lot of solid intel from. So from now until the election, if you don't know shit, shut your fucking mouth. Just shut the fuck up. But if you want to know like actually what's going on, go follow Midas Touch. Read the indictments, you know, talk to people who know what they're doing, and then you could average a bunch of those decision, you know, feedback together or back in your mind, kind of collect an outline of what's going on. And then whatever you have questions on, you could go to a tertiary and secondary source and find out what the primary source is. And that primary source is public information. So there is no excuse for you to be in the dark. There's no excuse for you to be like, politics is too confusing. I don't know where to find the right information. Fucking ask somebody and find out before you fucking cause any more fucking damage than you've already done. And I'm speaking to my uncles specifically. My fucking uncles, you know? Stop fucking us. Just stop. Cease and desist Facebook. Cease and desist the little group contacts that you guys have. Stop talking. You've been fucking marked. You've been fucking brainwashed. You've been absolutely brainwashed. My uncles and some of my friends have been fucking brainwashed. So if you wonder why it's tough for me to fucking condition my hair sometimes and brush my teeth, it's because my support system and the people that I used to trust and respect and look up to have succumbed to fucking propaganda from a, you know, billionaire, despot, serial killer halfway around the world. You know, like, come on. You're gonna pick your little nephew that followed in your footsteps and wanted to be like you guys and stuff. Do you want to fucking pick him? Or do you want to fucking pick a fucking transphobic, bigoted, lying sack of shit that just has short man syndrome and wants to fucking, you know, control the shit out of everybody? Like, what the fuck? Like, why would you pick that over your fucking nephew? The Republicans used to be law and order. They used to be like fiscal conservatism. Fuck you. You never were, and you certainly aren't now. And for any of you motherfuckers that say like, I'm a leftist, snowflake, fucking soy boy, fucking bullshit, all that stuff, like, fuck you. I am way more conservative than you are. That's what I found out. Y'all ain't conservative, you're fucking goddamn stochastic terrorists. And go fucking look that one up. Thanks, Tommy, for that fucking goddamn nugget. Because you want to know what? That's exactly what these motherfuckers are. They're fucking stochastic terrorists. Fuck.